In fact, now we have basically you can see the slides as well, right? Okay, you can see the slides, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I think I'm going to discuss with you and how many students in the corporate banking? Maybe around 10, 50 or even 20 is having, but usually participate in maybe around maybe 10, 15. That's a normal pattern in all these online classes. Right. Okay, so I'm going to be with you for next 16 hours or so, but unfortunately I have another lecture in the morning from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. So therefore I'm supposed to start at 3:30 till 5:30, but your normal classes is 1:30 till 5:30. But the next week also we need to carry like this from 3:30 to 5:30, and then we will see from after that whether we can start a little earlier, right? And then, so I think somehow I do, and this managing relationship is the last sessions or last module. You are just completed all other areas. I need your feedback, Puta. Whether you have already covered all these money laundering and then corporate governance, due directors,
Yes, sir. We have
right?
covered all the sessions, all the
So only
modules.
only the managing relationship is there. Okay,
Yes.
right. So just to before we start, I think you are from different banks. I suppose you are representing. Then just to get something, corporate governance. If I ask something from you, is okay for you all? Without before I start my managing relationship, if I ask you something about corporate governance, is okay for you all? Not sure, right? Who have done your who has done the corporate governance? Is Sampath guy, or who has done the corporate governance? Right, right.
Mr. Nayak,
Mrs. That Sampath fellow, no? Right. Okay, no, I don't want to ask other people areas. No, I just to see whether how good you are in that area, right? Okay, right. What is basically agency issue at with corporate governance? What do you mean by an agency issue? When you talk about the corporate governance, what do you mean by an agency issue? No idea? Definitely you have to cover. Huh? No? What is an agency issue? Comes under the corporate governance area. You have not covered. I think you have definitely you need to cover. Right. Now just to see how to what extent you're following, right? Okay, I just move it to my area. So okay, so with all these things, I'm just going to cover managing relationship, but most of the things I think you may be aware. This particular module is talk about. You have a free to ask me any question, right? You can ask me any question, and you can stop me, and I expecting from you all to be contribute to me and giving some valuable suggestions, right? Then this module aim to present a view of the importance of the profitably managing customer relationships. How you any organizations you need customers, no? So how you manage your customers profitably, right? So that's a area basically we are going to study from entire 16 hours, and then how our relationship marketing strategies that enhance your organizational profitability and success. So that's the module aim. And then when you talk about the managing relationship, we talk about defining the term managing relationship with respect to CRM model, and what are the components of CRM and importance of effective CRM strategies, and the role of the CRM, right? So some of the areas we are going to discuss with you in how you can use the role of CRM strategy basically in business strategy. Right. So then we're moving to the, I think you know this fellow, right? Now, what is the ultimate goal of a firm? And any goal, what may be the ultimate goal of any firm? Oh,
Achieving the profit targets, sir.
profit targets, right? So that's the end of the series of activities, right? Okay. So how can firms achieve this goal? I know, I think you know who is this fellow, right? Who is this guy? No idea. Who is this guy? Famous guy? Huh? Never seen him before? Right, Steve, right? Okay, so ultimate goal of a firm is to first you need to fulfill the customer needs. You know, the needs are keep on changing because of the development of customers, education level. Customer become more techno savvy, more educated, more sophisticated, and the environment keep on changing. So therefore, customers' needs also keep on changing. So we as an organization, so we need to fulfill the changing need of the customer. Then also people need to satisfy customer. Now today's people are not talking about the satisfied customer. They talk about different words to that, and more than satisfaction, the experienced customer, and they talk about delighted customer, blah blah thing. So end of the day, we need to maximize or add value to your customers. Then build long relationship with customers, as we well aware, because the new customers are difficult and the existing customers bring more revenue to your organization. For that you need to have a better relationship. So how to build the relationships, that's India we are going to discuss in little detail later on. Then of course all this fulfill, you basically maximize the profits. So profit is the bottom line. So any organization, whether you are in the government sector or state sector or private sector or whatever the sector, so directly or indirectly, any organization, we try to maximize the profit, because that is the our stakeholders or our shareholders main objective. Okay, right. Now you know the banking industry in that sense today are subject to a lot of changes. I don't want to explain. You are experienced bankers. You know these turbulent market, and we are talk about the image problems, and then banks are more regulated compared with any other organization, and we need to compliance. You are subject to a lot of compliance. Otherwise, you know the compliance issues are coming. Then compliance risk coming to the scene. Then a lot of competitions in new banking models. Now, a lot of people are talking about the fintechs, how fintechs absorb the banking functions. And so I read a recent article said the asset base of one fintech company is now more than the banking. Maybe it's around $1 trillion. And a lot of people have, in fact, not trust the banking businesses, because they are moving for other businesses areas like other financial providing areas. Good example is crowd funding. Then people talk about the customer loyalty, and in marketing we discuss a lot of things. How can we improve your customer loyalty and things like that. Now if you really hard to find it out, any customer loyalty, right? Now if in your experience, if I ask from you whether uh, you can see any loyal customers anymore now, have you have you come across any loyal customers? Whatever we do, they are not with us. I mean, basically they are moving to different banks. If we are at any given mistakes. So they may move into another bank or maybe move into another financial institution. So today, so in that case, the loyalty is no more there. So loyalty is very difficult to maintain. Customer loyalty is a challenging thing. And also with this need to increase our profitability. Now, banks are unfortunately still are having little making profits, right? But when you're compared with other businesses industries, basically profit is deteriorating due to this COVID-19. But banks, in that sense, are okay to some extent. But bank also come with lean structure, downsizing. A lot of banks are downsizing, not in Sri Lanka much, but in other countries, flatter organizational structure, going for a more on outsourcing, right? So bring up some improving techniques to improve their productivity and efficiency by using things. And then, of course, all these things are subjected to a lot of technological issues about the banking industry. This is how today's the banking uh, industry looked like, right? Now, as a result, what happened? As a result, uh, the uh, the banking operating environment was really changed. Right now, say for an example, people talk about the globalization, and then people talk about the technology revolution, then intensity of competition. Now, how many banks in Sri Lanka at the moment? Can anybody tell me how many banks in Sri Lanka with we are competing with these? How many banks in Sri Lanka presently enjoyed by the customers? How many banks? Can anybody tell me how many banks in Sri Lanka? Huh? 25 all with license and specialized and commercial banks. How many banks in Sri Lanka? Come on. I think some of you may be there. You're there, no? Huh? Hello. I need your feedback, Puta. How many how many banks are there?
Yeah, 24 commercial banks and 6 LSBs.
Yeah, good, good. Right, exactly correct. Right. Now we are having how many finance companies in that sense? How many finance companies you think we are operating at moment? At the moment is around 39, but then yesterday the governor mentioned that the central bank took a decision to Swarna Mahal to give permissions to continue for another 6 months, but they can't do any transaction. But then I don't know why they was given that permissions to see whether any any uh, any investor to invest in that. So, but with that is maybe around 40. But in Sri Lankan financial businesses, as you are well aware, is very competitive, and most of the finance companies are not doing well. And in that sense, the government is basically, or the central bank is relook at it their consolidation drive, whether we can go for consolidation. Is fact the Sri Lanka's financial institutions are too much, so therefore they may be try to consolidate some of the financial institutions with bank. Even for certain banks, they are not made the adequate capital adequacy requirement, as well as only out of 30 odd finance companies, only 10 companies are at the very high level. They're operating their capital adequacy and liquidity is maintaining. But some almost other or 20 odd finance companies, they just manage their liquidity and capital. So therefore, consolidation is the important things. So then these are the bank, how bank operating in today's context, right? And then basically, uh, uh, can you see Puta the slides?
No, sir, it's blank.
Right. Yeah. 1 minute. 1 minute. Huh? Phew. Now it's okay.
Yeah, now can see.
Screen. Right. Okay. Sorry. Right. So then we know these the pressure from of course profits also now some people are saying profit also deteriorating. Now change of customers, now one thing is operating is changing and drive for digital payment disruptions, increased competitions, brand optimizations, and then improving contextual experiences, global interventions. A lot of things are taking place in banking fraternity today. Then changing of the customer, what they expect. As I told you, the volume banking customers are increasing. The density. What is the density of a bank today? How much? How you define the density of a bank? Is it how many branches per 100,000 people? So as far as banks are concerned, what is the density today? How many branches per 100,000 people? Just rough estimation in Sri Lanka. How much you think is around 17? It was earlier is 18, now it is around 17. So then the as customers more knowledgeable, educated, as I told you, right? And they are very assertive and demanding, not like those days. So and inclined to switch to a competitor at the slight dissatisfaction. So that is why I told you the customer loyalty is no more there now, right? Then what they're expecting a greater convenience, wider accessibility, then user friendly, transparency in transactions, right? And friendly as well as personalizations. A lot of areas they may look at it today, right? Okay. So then something is going on. Can you see it now? Can no? Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Now,
Right. Okay. Now many organizations are therefore now focusing on a more sustainable long-term approach to profitability and value creation. Now these days what customers are basically expecting some value addition. So every organizations try to add value. Now the business functions play a critical role in promoting this balanced approach to risk and reward, right? So we have a strong risk management systems, we have a reward system for customers as well as your customers. So we need to have a balance because all matters cost, how you provide better customer service with the less risk, right? Okay. So then I think you may heard about the relationship management concept, right? Relationship management concept. Actually, it is the term relationship can be basically defined in textbooks, a series of interactions that take place between two parties over a period of time. That is what you call the relationship, right? Now, actually, the relationship evolved prior to industrial age, right? Then after the during the industrial age, we I think most of you have learned the mass productions and the low cost and availability, and then from industrial age we moving from industrial age to service economy age. So therefore during that time people are concentrated on more on additional value. Then from services economy age to people moving to uh, knowledge of economic age, and that they are the mutual collaborations expected by a lot of customers. So there are many relationship theories of relationships. First, we discussed the social exchange theory. Then after that, attraction theory, social penetration theory, equity theory. All theories are, I'm not going to explain you all these things, but all these theories are somewhat contributing to the relationship, right? But in today, it's concept of relationship management is basically associating with customers' requirements, identifying and understanding customer requirements, and then, as everybody is well aware, and delivering the customized product and resolving their product related issues. So therefore, main aim of relationship is to provide better customer satisfaction, and while earning adequate profits to your organization. Right. So let's look at it. Some of the famous uh, relationship economics developed by organization is, every business is today shows a leaky bucket, right? So I think this is a very simple one. So this is your bucket, is your market share. So there are people are coming. So new market customers, people are coming to organization, and also some customers are coming from your competitors, and there are some competitors are going, and competitors are going switching to the uh, switching to the competitors. There are two ways to grow your businesses. Now, one is to increase the flow of new customers to your bank, or pack the holes of the bucket, right? So we also, as a bankers, we can see. So you can see number of accounts open per branch per day, or maybe couple of, after couple of period of time, maybe 1 month times, 2 months times, or 6 month times, and how many new accounts come. So you can get an idea from branch level, what is this relationship economics, how many customers are coming, or how many accounts open. In very simple terms, from your open account register, you can see how many customers are coming and how many customers have closed their accounts. So this leaky buckets, every organization is, as far as the businesses are concerned, are having some sort of a similar pattern. Then, of course, then here the new customers acquisitions, and is required to compensate for losses, leakage, or existing customers in order to maintain a constant level of customers in the market. So we need to add new customers if there are some customers are moving. So therefore, the relationship is basically talk about sustainable profitability, right? People today are talking about the sustainability, and to succeed any company, if you take the leak bucket theory, so you need to acquire new customers, and also you need to retain your existing customers. Of course, retention is more profitable when you're compared with acquisition, right? So with this, the relationship marketing is basically, we'll talk about building mutually satisfying long-term relationship with the parties, like customers, not only customers but suppliers, distributors, earn to and to retain profit. That was defined by Philip Kotler, who's supposed to be a father of marketing. Then, and identify and establish maintain and enhance and the terminate relation with customers and other stakeholders at a profit, so that the objectives of all parties involved are met. So there are many definitions given by various scholars with respect to relationship marketing, right? So relationship marketing, uh, lot of definitions are given by different people uh, with respect to relationship marketing, right? So then I think we all well aware. So we are in a rapidly changing world, and we have to face set of new challenges in this VUCA environment. I know you know what is VUCA mean. So we mean the volatility. We mean the volatility. That's speed up of change in our industry or market we are facing. The things are keep on changing, and then you I think represent uncertainty, and uncertainty mean to extent to which we can confidentiality predict the future. It's very difficult to predict the future in present situation. Then of course, as you know, these the complexity is a number of factors are need to consider before you take any decision, right? So therefore, whatever the decisions we need to take, we have to look at it. Various dimensions and various variables are impacted to your business decision. Then, of course, the A represent the ambiguity, and that is the lack of clarity how you interpret something. That is because of sometimes the information may be asymmetric, or maybe we don't have enough information to take the quality decision. So therefore in that sense we are living or we are working, all banks are working in the VUCA environment, and it's very difficult to take a uh, quality and stable decisions. Then of course, as you are well aware about the sustainability. Now in global reporting sustainability economy, DNP will talk about sustainability is the develop we need to develop meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. That is what you call in technically what is sustainability. Now, so whatever we do, so we need to look at it, the sustainability. We need to keep our businesses growing without going further down, coming back again, going further down, coming back again. It's not like that. The sustainability have to maintain in our whatever the business decisions or whatever the progress we are making. So with this environment, so organizations need to move from relationship marketing to customer relationship management. So that is how the customer relationship management evolve as today, because we are not in a position to just to have a relationship managing or relationship marketing. We need to move from relationship management or relationship marketing to customer relationship marketing. Now, CRM is concerned with the creations, development, and enhancements of individual customer relationship with carefully targeted customers and customers groups, resulting in maximizing their total customer for lifetime value. So there are different definitions given by different people now. Famous uh, one scholar called Gardner, he said this and the customer relationship management now they have identified as a business strategy, right? Designed to optimize profitability, revenue, and customer satisfaction. So there may be a PwC uh, uh, our audit guys, they talk about CRM as a business strategy. Okay, everybody's talking about the business strategy and aim to understand and manage personalize and needs of the organization's current and potential customers. Then so basically, his integrations are sales, marketing, service, and support strategy, processes, people, technology to maximize customer acquisition, value relation, retentions, and loyalty. So, what do you mean by this definitions? Now, in relationship marketing, if you're compared with customer relationship marketing try to integrate all the areas what we have learned under marketing or under sales or under services marketing or whatever, even the processes, right, in the marketing mix. all thing how can you make use of to create a customer lifetime value. So that is customer relationship management is all about, right? So therefore, remember planning and implementing the customer relationship management uh, play a major task now, especially in the large organization. Now, some banks, I know some banks in Sri Lanka uh, are having a separate customer relationship management divisions. They're really looking for that area, and uh, but it's very expensive and disruptive, and any change meet resistance. So any change if you're going to do, so there may be a resistance, but a lot of organization are now use CRM initiative to look after their customer base. Right. Then, of course, in this module, of course, as we discussed earlier, therefore, we are looking long-term customer relationship and for profitability. So, how can you use customer relationships or customer relation management techniques to earn profits? For that, how and why? So, how can you do that? That is what we are going to discuss in our corporate banking this module, right? Now, if you look at it, the customer relationship management, right, is an you may learn about today. The you may learn about the enterprise risk management. Now we are not talking about risk management for particular division. Now today we're talking about the enterprise risk management. So what is enterprise risk management is talking about. So we have a business strategy. So your entire relationship or entire in risk management has to be aligned with your corporate or business objective, right? Likewise, your customer relationship management also, you are trying to uh, deal with it fully aligned with your corporate strategic objective, right? So, so for that we need to understand our profitable customers, significantly important customers, how we identify from our database or how with our customer base, how we identify our profitable customers, right? What we can do for them. That is what customer relationship management, to some extent, going to look at it. Now, if you look at it from traditional marketing to CRM, if you look at it, the purposes we are moving from increases of businesses to loyalty maximization. That's of course a question. So how can you keep your customers loyal, right? Then focus of customer acquisitions to lifestyle management. We want to keep your customer for his entire period. Then we evaluate the traditional marketing about the activities from market share, where we look at it the mind share. Then we look at it the customer information from surveys and interviews and things like that. So today we are talking about the behavioral information based on database, right? For that I will be touch on that. We have a facilitated by fintechs, right? Initiatives, and of course communication is basically two-way. Right, with this backdrop, today we have identified CRM is a multifaceted solution, right? So what a CRM is multifaceted solution because we need to look at it 360-degree view of clients. Now you maybe watch uh, televisions now these days. There's some advertisements going on about the insurance company about the 360-degree view of clients, right? When they look at it, the customer's insurance aspect, they may look at it 360 degree. So likewise in CRM also, consumers are as not brand loyal as they used to be. So how banking CRM changing that? So that is the challenge. So therefore, we need to look at it customer from 360-degree view, right? Not from one area, right? So customer centric banking model by offering a comprehensive 360-degree view of the clients and providing team access to complete customer profile, past purchases, interactions, support calls, website visits, and um, all these things. Now, I think you may well aware about that. For that, we may use lot of. We have a lot of challenges from fintech companies. We can make use of some of the things, some of the techniques for that. What is artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence is basically referring to the simulations of human intelligence in machines, right? We may replace whatever the machines human will do, that can be replaced by machines. And then people talk about by providing this 360-degree view, so we can use sort of ITs. So one is machine learning. So you know what is machine learning mean? The study of computer algorithms that improve the automatically through all the expenses by the use of data. So we use lot of data to provide better CRM solution. There, of course, you may come across uh, big data and big data analytics, right? Now, what is big data or big data we call? There are several definition for that, but most company use is referring to the large volume of data beyond the normal processing, storage, and analytical capacity of typical database application tools. Now, for example, if you look at it, Netflix, I think most of you are well aware about the Netflix. You may have some sort of a facility. Now, according to the recent survey, Netflix is having 44 million users worldwide, 44 million users worldwide who watch 2 billion hours of programs per month, right? Now, imagine, so number of these are very recent statistics available about the Netflix, 44 million users worldwide who watch 2 billion programs per month. Now, say the Netflix want to analyze their customer base, provide a customer relationship management solution. So, too many database. So, how can you analyze? So it is very difficult. So that is how the big data or data analytics came into the scenes. They will support all these things, how these are uh, uh, watched by different customers, and what sort of programs watched by different set of groups and things like that. So therefore, IT or in the fintech area, they may be use a lot of new areas to study and provide this 3 CRM solutions or 360 view of clients. Then, of course, uh, you may see that uh, process, right? Now, for rethinking process for profits, so we need to relook at it, our process, what we are doing in the banking businesses, where how can you simplify the process? How can you add value to your process, right? So therefore, so if you relook at it, your process, and we can improve our profits. Now, in there, of course, we will use some of the techniques in the IT. What you call the robotic process automation, that is RPA. So, through use of RPA, it is a process of automation technology based on metaformical software called the or robotics or for artificial intelligence or maybe digital working. So through that, we have tried to improve our operational efficiency, then make it standardization. Uh, like for an example, application we use here for uh, credit card processing, and then mortgage processing, fraud detection, for KYC process, compliances, a lot of RPA techniques we are using for processes, right? For give a better see a customer relationship solution. Then of course there will be a lot of payments methods also available for customers to reducing this area, and then to come with a smarter customers, right? uh, you need to crucial for banks to keep up financial CRM modernize the brick and mortar standards of banking, self-service with mobile apps and more online resources, right? We through the providing of new payment innovations, right? And so biometric security systems, and then people talk about the open banking, uh, sometimes the robo advisory, right? All areas in the fintech we are using uh, to make it customer more smart, right? Now, example of uh, biometric security systems rise now. Type what are the type of biometrics we are using? Uh, Physiological biometric measurements, the facial features, fingerprints, then behavioral biometric features we may use, and non-contact identifications. So there are so many biometric security systems we use by banks, make it more customer smarter. Then, of course, another techniques we even for central bank is talking about one-touch analysis. There we call support with open banking. So I think you may know about the open banking. We make use of the third party to make use of the bank's personal data. And many industry players now predict open banking will reshape the banking sector as we know. And now open banking reported accordingly and generated around some sort of a 7 billion US dollar in 2018, but now market is reaching something called 40 odd US dollar billion. So a lot of banks are not are now using uh, open banking for to provide the one-touch analysis, right? So Sri Lanka may not much, but there may be a possibility of introducing open banking, uh, and also not only that, but also robo advisors are using, right? So do it yourself robo advisors and financial advisors, right? A lot of IT facilitated to provide a better uh, customer support. Thereby, CRM may be a very important uh, area in that case. And also, when you are going to segmented marketing, now CRM used to segment the market. There is something called the digital segmentation. Right now, earlier, a lot of organization uh, use the famous symptomatic uh, these personal data, age, income, education, a lot of demographic factors to segment the financial market. But today, there may be a digital segmentation like E&Y have identified. Your customers can be segmented based on as a digital stars and pros, they traditionally said financial stars, right? So this you are segmented to extent of their digital maturity. They can segmented their customers accordingly. So therefore, CRM the basically can be used uh, to fulfill the all the customers need in different aspects. Then the next one is of course the regulatory compliance. This is the biggest challenge banks are facing when they are going to adapt CRM. Now, still, as I told you, in Sri Lanka also, the open banking not fully given permission, but they have what you call regulatory sandbox, where they have given some finance companies to test their in the limited area how successful all these things, and then after that they will look at all these regulatory aspects and they are going to introduce to Sri Lankan finance market. So then, of course, once you introduce things like that, there somebody argue on that what is the use of uh, credit bureau, because all the information about the customers can be taken by third party, it can be shared. So therefore, the role of a credit bureau, right, going to be vanished. Right. So that's a challenge. The regulatory compliance, that's a major challenge faced by banks when you're going to introduce this, their CRM initiatives. Right. Then they may keep a step-by-step approach to sort out all these problems faced by banks when it's trying to introduce a lot of CRM initiatives. Right now, a lot of our transactions are moving to a digital. So with pandemic, give lot of support for people to go for a more on a digital platforms, right? From mobile transaction to online communication, proper digital engagement requires integrated solution like banking CRM. Right. So therefore, today we're talking about very comprehensive CRM. Right. So provide. That's what I told you. Basically, the CRM we look at it as a multifaceted solution. Okay. So having understood that, so try to understand the evolutions of CRM, right? And we are trying to look at it, the evolution of CRM. Now, usually, if you look at it, the evolutions of CRM, so we can see three stages. One is the first generations of CRM, first generations of CRM, where use the functional approach like Salesforce automation and customer service support, that is C triple double S. Then the second stage of CRM, we talk about CRM we used to support front office activities and fulfill the requirement of customers. And the third stage of CRM, what we are talking, organization realize the need of integrating the front office CRM system with the back office CRM system. So that is how the three stages of CRM we have identified. So CRM reporting technology help organization to identify their customers. Then analytical analyze technology helps organization to segment their customers into categories like best and worst customer setting. Then CRM third, we call the predicting technologies help organizations make prediction regarding the customer's behavior, such as customers are at risk of leaving. So three phases. So from business's value play an important role. Right. From CRM perspective, we look at it from the functional level as we discussed. Set of processes to execute marketing functions like Salesforce automation, so or marketing campaign management. So we are going with all the informations about the customers. All automated. We can see customers, part purchases, right, from the functional level. Then set of activities that provide single view of the customer across contact channels. Now, customer intelligence obtained is available across all customer facing functions, that is customer facing level. Then the third level, of course, the organization level is a strategic CRM level. Knowledge about the customers and their preferences have implication for their entire organization, right? That is how you look at it from customers, from the functional level, customer facing level, and strategic level, right? So if you look at it, the architecture of CRM, so the operational CRM, analytical CRM, and collaborative CRM. So we are now trying to discuss and try to learn what is operational CRM, what is analytical CRM, and what is collaborative CRM. Right. So operational CRM, what does operational CRM means? And it's supporting the so-called front office and the business's process, which include customer contact, sales, marketing, and services. Now, operational part of CRM, as we correctly mentioned earlier, three general areas of business. One is Salesforce automation, customer service and support, enterprise marketing automations. So let's look at it. What are the benefits you're going to get from operational CRM? Now they are providing 360-degree view of each customer, right? So operational CRM, we look at it as we mentioned earlier, we look at the customer from a 360 angle. Right. Now, each employee from salespeople to service engineers can access a complete history of all the customer interactions with the organization, regardless of the initial point of contact. So, what is operational CRM? That means we look at it, history of all the transactions done by customer. That is what we discussed very early today. So, 360-degree view of customers, what of transactions they have carried out, right? How often come to the bank? What is the normal ticket size of the customer? Ticket size means in terms of deposits. How many loans have taken? How often withdraw the money from ATM? All the area, how their payments payment mechanism, right? Is a good customer who oblige their dues in correct. All all activities, you can use it, you can track through the operational CRM, right? So they are providing all those benefits. Then the analytical aspects look into the analysis of customer data for purchase purposes like optimizing marketing effectiveness, customer retention, behavioral analysis, and decision making. So, so this facility will help you to insight into customer needs, right? Ultimate aim is to determine what the products and services you can sell to your customers in order to increase the average revenue per user. Can you give another loan? Okay, how can you improve the cross sellings and other areas? That is basically we'll talk about in analytical CRM. Third, what are the benefits for businesses of these analytical thing is segmentation of customers to feed into the enterprise marketing system. For as we say, enterprise mean we look at it the total uh, customer, right? And so those are benefited for your decision making. Collaborative CRM, ultimate goal is to use the information collected from all departments to use to improve the quality of customer service. So this requires a clear contact management strategy, which enables everyone in an organization to see who is talking to who, right? So, so business benefit of collaborate CRM, efficient, productive customer interactions across all communication channels. So enables web collaborations to reduce customer services cost, integrate call centers, enabling multi-channel personal customer interactions, right? So ultimately, will provided all the total solution to customers. Right now, up to now, what we have discussed basically, right? I think I have went through little fast. So, what are the things what we have learned up to now? Just to summarize what we learned up to now. So we discuss why we need to, what is the goal of a firm, and how we are going to achieve the goals. And the important thing is, first, you need to fulfill your customer needs, then satisfy customers and build relationship with customers and profits. So final aim is to earn a profit. So then we discuss the what sort of industry we are working, what sort of industry the banks are operating, right? So what sort of problems we have come across, what are sort of issues we are come across in today's banking business, and for they have find it out the solution at early date, the concept of relationship management. Actually, that was started in 1960s. The banks are talk about the relationship management, right? In 1960s, why we need to have a relationship. So then we discuss there the relationship economics. So we call leaky bucket theory, right? So if the customers are moving away from us, how can you add more customers to the bucket? So then we talk about the relationship economics, where the two areas we look at it, two strategies: customer acquisition and customer retention, right? So from that, so we talk about the relationship marketing. So we look at it, the three main elements of relationship marketing. One is the financial bond, and the structural bond, and social bonds, right? Those are the three bonds we look at it at the relationship marketing. Then we move from relationship marketing to CRM marketing, customer relationship management. Because why we push to move from relationship marketing to customer relationship marketing, as we will discuss. So our environment is keep on changing. So we moving from VUCA environment, very volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous environment. All business need to take place, and also we need to look at the sustainability aspect. So therefore, what happened? So therefore, the organization need to look at it a different relationship approach. That is how people, banks are move from relationship marketing to customer relationship management, because we need to understand what our customers, uh, what by satisfying the customer, how can earn the profits to the organization. Then we discussed a little bit of how the customer relationship management varies from the traditional marketing when you are servicing customers. And then we look at it, the customer as a multifaceted solution, how CRM provide that. And for that customer, they look at it from 360-degree view. So when you look at it, we need to look at the customer in a 360, every aspects of how customer satisfied. Right? Then also we need to look at the processes, right? So whatever the for banking, whatever the businesses, even for insurance, isn't process driven. There is some process involved. Process means series of activities, right? Process means series of activities. Now, each and every process, there may be a uh, some areas where you may have some issues. Now, that is what again the Porter has identified a value chain, right? He said, okay, if you want to analyze your customer's present position, one factor is they do need to look at it, value position, right? What they look at it, each and every steps, how can you improve your businesses, right? So therefore, CRM also look at it, how relook at it your process, and how can these process can be contributed to your profits, right? Whether improving or reducing the cost or add values to the customers, like that, right? So they have identified the process gaps and try to fulfill. Then again, CRM touch want to have a smarter customer, right? So with the modern use of modern technology, uh, uh, so they need to create a smarter customer, right? Because if you create a smarter customer, and crucial for banks to keep it up, right? So uh, financial CRM therefore modernize the brick and mortar standards of banking as customer self-service, mobile labs, and online resources. So not only providing uh, mortar brick approach, that means customers are moving to the bank to get the work, and uh, so therefore the helps banks to foster digital transformation and provide the customer, and they want to convert a smarter customer. So then the next one is one touch analysis. Put analyze informations as click your small thing, you get a lot of informations about the customers, right? History in and out about the customers, all the information. And also CRM try to look at it, the best way of segmenting their customers. They use move away from those traditional methods of segmenting. They move for more digital methods, right? Now all these uh, customer aspects of CRM will supported by fintechs. Now we discuss about how artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analysis, robotic activities. About now people are talking about even for uh, regtech, that is the regulatory aspects also may look at it by the regulatory aspects also may look at it by the fintechs, right? That is what you call regtech, and advising, robo advising, right? So many things are fintechs provided, how they get the support for open banking, right? To strengthen the CRM, right? So new technology. And within all these things today, banks are facing the regulatory aspects. To what extent the banks are using these new techniques or new methodology, right, to fulfill uh, uh, customers' requirements. So that's one of the drawback faced by a lot of banks, whether the regulatory factors are inhibited some of the initiatives of customer relationship management, right? So that's, of course, we discuss about what CRM today look like, right? So then we discuss about the some of the evolution of CRM, right? So before that, I have just talked. I don't know whether you. I need to get your feedback from you, right? Okay. So, right, Kaushalya and Rasika, have you got anything from Then Olabudu is there, no? Right. Then have you got anything from up to now? What is the present CRM is talking about? Any feedback? Subhashan, right? Yeah, Rasika.
So,
So
small
any,
question.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, what is this? Identifies customer in danger of churning. Benefits of what is churning, sir?
Churning
In the
is
previous.
yeah, it is now customers are moving from one to one, so we need to understand his some points where he may have some issues, right? So CRM is trying to understand all these things, right? So in their journey, so in their areas, some of the issues will come across in through CRM. We are trying to identify where there are some mistakes or where there are some issues about the customers. How can you sort it out, right? That is basically we talk about the journey, right? Okay. So
Okay.
all the aspects about this. Sampath, you okay? Sampath, are you
Yes,
okay?
sir.
All right. Anything you need to clarify? Subhashana, right? Pushpa Kumara, right? Who are the other guys? Are there? Kaushalya, oh, you're okay. Kaushalya,
I'm okay, sir.
right. Olabadu, how about you? Olabadu of a known character to me. Olabadu, you are there?
Yes,
Huh?
sir. No problem. Yes.
Right, okay. Right, so please
Yes.
come back to me, right? I just went through little quickly on this introduction area. Right, right. So then we discuss, of course, then we discuss about the history of CRM and the stages of CRM, and then
Sir,
we
excuse me,
discuss.
sir.
Yeah,
I didn't get to one word that regulatory aspect. What is the word you said, sir? In red tape or
regulate.
something?
Regtech mean now the fintech has developed now in today's now there may be a lot of areas the robo advisors, right? And then the like insurtech like regtech mean the regtech is the management of regulatory processes within the financial industry through technology, right? Now, lot of areas like fintechs, regtech mean the regtech is a management of regulatory processes within the financial industry using technology. Now, what are the main functions of regtechs, including the monitoring, the reporting, compliances, right? Now, regtechs uses technologies such as advanced analytics, robotic process automation, and all these things could achieve regulatory compliance outcome more efficiently and effectively. That means basically now say even for central bank, now say for a central bank, now you we as bank sending reports. There are some regular report like CFT and all, right? They whether we getting all this information. So there is a regtech mean there is a IT is using so industry through technology they are monitoring all these compliances whether you are sending reporting at the correct time, your compliances are meeting like that, right? So now according to the regtechs, according to the world, there are around 3.7 billion are used invested for this regtech business, right? So once you have the regtech here, so you can use a lot of things what earlier used by people, monitoring aspects, right? So that is what you call RegTech. Is a development of fintech, right? So likewise, if you really look at it, there is another things we call insurtech. Right now, people take fintech like that. So insurtechs also referring to the use of technological innovation designed to squeeze off savings and efficiency from the insurance business. Now, the fintech companies support banking activities like the insurance also provided facility to through the apps, right, through the services via app services app, right, for insurance businesses as well. But again, like bank, like insurance, there may be a a lot of challenges faced by all these organizations to use insurtechs, regtechs, and fintech because of what? Because all areas are very much highly regulated, right? So then, why we can't apply all these insurtech, regtechs, and all these things? Because we are highly protected with regulation. So the regulator may have some issues, right? When you use these new techs like insurtech, regtech, or fintechs, what happens? There may be a leaking some confidentiality about the information, right, about the customers, right, the secrecy of customers. That is why, and thereby lost the trust and confidence of customers, thereby they tarnish the financial system as well as the financial system stability. All they were worried. Right now, what is CRM? We look at it. We look at it from the CRM using modern fintechs and other areas, new things to provide the better customer, say even for open banking, right? So we try to provide a lot of facilities as well as a lot of benefits to our customers. So while we are going to do that, using a lot of new techniques. So then the regulator, because the financial are highly regulated, financial business are highly regulated. So therefore, how these regulatory will look at it when you're going to apply these new techniques in the uh, in the uh, customer relationship management, right? I think you got that point. Okay, clear. RegTech is okay, right? What's your name, Puta? I like to name your name. Good. So you ask questions, so good. What's your name? I can't get it from here.
Sampath, sir.
Sampath Fernand, right? Which bank you are, Sampath?
From Ceylon.
Good. Sampath Ceylon. Good. Which it's okay for which area, Sampath, you are attached to?
Branch, working in a
Branch.
branch.
Right. Okay. So you are working at a branch. Which branch? If it's okay for
Yes,
us,
sir,
you.
Town.
Huh? It's
Have lockdown.
what? Where?
Have lockdown.
Havelock Town. Right. Okay. Good. Good, Sampath. That's what we want. But you want to ask something from again for me, Sampath?
Sir, can you little bit explain what the open banking was? It's small.
Right. Open banking. Okay. Right now, open banking. So better you just mention what is open banking. Now, now open banking is technologically, or maybe defined, is basically uh, allowing third party, right? Third party to get with your permission, right? To get the permission. Now, say for an example, right now you have all the information. Your information is available with, say, I am one of your customers, right? Say I am one of your customer, right? Now, uh, with my permission, there's a third party, right? Can obtain information about myself. Got it? Yeah, brother, right? Now say, now again, I will just tell you like this. Now from organization, now say you have a customer, right, without an open banking, say for example. So customer is there is a bank one application, there is a bank two application. So you dealing with bank application one, so bank application with one, right? Now say for an example, so if I want to deal with banks, I need to have a one bank app with Sampat. I need to have a one bank apps with Ceylon, right? So I use those apps to deal with separately bank one or a bank Sampat and bank this, right? With this application, with this open banking application, so I have only one app, right? So that app can be used to deal with API process for other banks, right? That mean in that one filling is a permitted for me to deal with your permissions to deal with other customer sharing the customer information, right? So open banking is the sharing and leveraging of customer permission data from banks with third-party developers and firms to build applications and services to provide more efficient and transparent option is banking. හරිද තේරුණාද ආයිමක් කියලා? So that
No, sir.
means
Okay. Then now got it.
okay, clear, right?
Okay, sir.
So central that there is some, of course, a risk of open banking, right? Now what are the risks? Loss or theft of personal data, because your data was now what is today we are talking about? We have a confidentiality, we have a section 77, we talk about a customer secrecy, right? Now open banking, what happened? So it may be exposed, right? The loss of theft of personal data. So data protection violation. Then money laundering and terrorist finance, right? Risk of fraudulent transactions can take. Those are the risks. But what are the advantage? You can get more information on that, right? And also remember Sri Lanka, even though I think you may heard about national payment roadmap of Central Bank of Sri Lanka, where they have a common ATM sharing. Now they work on common switch sharing, right? Are you aware on that? No. Now you know when you go to the supermarket, so right, there may be a lot of terminals, no? Some post machines are there, no? Right? So they have a 5-6 soft machines. Now, so all these machines are belong to different banks. Now, instead of that, what central bank is now having? Only one post machine, so you can make use of any cards, right? That is called common, like ATMs are sharing. Now you can go to any bank ATM machines, right? So you can make use of any machines. So that is what you call common ATM sharing, common switch. Clear? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now whatever, of course, you need to pay little more for when you do transaction with other people. So that's a one area. So another area they look at it at the moment is in the regulatory aspect, common post terminal. So you don't now if you go to supermarket, you see your bags, because those are your incomes, right? But now instead of 3-4, only one switch, one post machine is enough. You can swipe any cards, right? Because it's a common, right? So central bank has done something like that. Here also the data is sharing. Your customers' data is sharing. Now, open banking is in Sri Lanka in the national payment roadmap, right? So in Sri Lanka, payments roadmap, this open banking is there. Now, there's a committee appointed by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and see how the open banking use it in Sri Lanka, right? Okay, so through the open banking, as I told you, so therefore we don't want to have a one app. Maybe you have only one app, right? So third party will provide that facility. So during that time, right? So accessing banks online before, or we may use different banking apps. Now with the open banking, you may have only one app. Clear now, right? You don't have different apps. So you have one apps, so you can get it all the. But that is good because now the information is sharing, right? That is why I told you with the introductions of open banking, the purpose of credit bureau is going to be survive. I mean, provide any solution for that. You know, right? Because third party you can access all this information, right? Right. I think you got an idea, right? So basically open banking with the permissions of the customer, you allowing third party to access your information. Simple is that. Clear that? හරිද පුතා?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right?
Okay.
හරිද?
Okay.
Clear nේද open banking?
Oh, sir.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. So that's the open banking, right? Anything you need to add this? For these all are provide better customer services, right? Okay, so they will support to some extent, but only thing is legally or regulatory aspect is there, so they may have some issues. That is what they are not in, but they are in the experiment stage, right? So then we discuss about the evaluation part, evaluation of CRM, right? And having three stage. First, they look at its customer and they link the middle office, right? And then the back office, right? So then we're moving to a perspective of CRM in functional level, customer level, as well as the organizational level. Then we moving to the architecture of CRM. So operational CRM, analytical CRM, and collaborative CRM. Now, operational CRM, we'll talk about front office support. We have Salesforce automation, SFA. Now, a lot of organizations use this CFA, software packages, customer service and support, CSS, enterprise marketing automation. So we look at the entire aspects. So it will benefited to look at it the 360 view of the customer. This operational CRM will facilitate for us to look at it the 360-degree view. And then analytical CRM, we are going to look at it effectiveness, how you behave, certain behavioral analysis and things like that about the customers. Right, and then with this, we may move into developing a CRM strategy, right? So how are you going to develop a CRM strategy? So you know what is a strategy? Of course, you well aware that. Of course, CRM is basically a technologically driven strategies, right? CRM strategy is basically, we call them as strategy defined in is a Latin or Greek word we call stragos. Stragos mean something is going front, right? Strategy is how we are going to achieve your objective. What are the means and modes, right? So CRM strategy needs to be developed based on bank's objective, as we'll well aware about every strategy need to be fully aligned with your objective. When you're preparing your corporate objectives, corporate plan, so strategy plan, so you need to have a corporate goals and objective. So strategies are there to achieve your uh, goals and objectives like that. So CRM strategy, you are going to achieve your CRM objective. What is make it three customer, right? The total customer solution. So how CRM used for that, right? Okay, right. So therefore we need to plan a strategy. So strategy will bring customer satisfaction and profits to your organization, right? So therefore CRM aims to establish and maintain strong relationship of an organization with customers, right? And also help an organization to acquire new customers and retain the existing one for life period, right? As we discussed earlier, as you see whatever the CRM strategy, we need to align with organizational missions and purpose of achieving sustainable business objective to maintain profitable customer. So whatever the strategy has to be designed, it has to be fully in line with your organization mission. So what are the characteristics of a good CRM strategy? What are the characteristics of a good CRM strategy? As we explained, it has to be alignment with organizational goal. That's a very fundamental thing. Whatever the strategy, it has to be aligned with your organizational goal. And whatever the strategy you develop need to be customer oriented or customer focused. So any strategy, as you are well aware, cannot be executed without having the support from the top management. These are fundamental things, right? So whatever the strategy you are looking, so it has to be aligned with your organizational goals. And whatever the strategy you look at it, since we are going for customer relationship management, so it has to be focused on customer and top management support you need. So this is a fundamental thing for any strategy. So there's no obsession for CRM strategy as well. Right. So how can CRM strategy of an organization be effective? So if an organization is to be effective, which you're going to use your CRM strategy, right? So the expected product to be offered in the present and the future. So it has to be fully product in the present as well as the future. So what is the market size? The requirement of customers. So the ways to deliver quality service to customers. What are the USPs can differentiate your organization from your competitors, right? So what is USP? Unique selling proposition. So unique selling proposition means where you give the competitive edge, where you usually give the competitive edge. Something is better than your competitor or something is not available with the competitor. That is what you call USP. So whatever the strategy, it is to be effective, must provide USP values, right? So you need to understand that, right? What are the objectives? So we look at it areas, shared customer knowledge, 360-degree customer views, and process improvement. Whatever the strategy, we are going to look at it. So we need to have an objective. What are the objectives? We look at it. How we are going to use your strategy to look customer in 360 week review. How can you use to improve your process? How you shared your customer information. Right? These are the objectives of a CRM strategy. Right? Okay, so let's look at it, the 360-degree customer view. Now we discuss 360-degree customer view is a powerful business tool for organization and disseminating the customer data throughout the organization. Now, what are the data about your customers, names, sales orders, where you are located, right? Customer service calls, emails, paper correspondence, everything. It provides an actionable customer insights to a different departments of an organization and help them to make a business decision accordingly. Now, if you look at it, the 360-degree customer views mean now any organization, is a cross-functional activities taking place to fulfill customer requirements. So not only one particular or department, all the organization, right, must have a contributing to achieve the customer's need fulfilled. It is not specific to one division. So therefore, every divisions who may have some sort of a contribution or some sort of align with the customer solution need to know everything about the customer, right? Now, through the CRM strategy is providing the required information about the customer, right, to all the divisions who will contribute it to to fulfill the customer requirement, right? So that is why we call it provides actionable customer insights to the different departments of an organization and helps them to business decisions accordingly. Whatever the decisions they taken by that particular division must be have enough information, right? Okay. The next one we call, so what are the three main drivers that motivate an organization to adopt a CRM strategy? Of course, the competition. How good you can implement your CRM strategy better than your competition. Technology. So what is the trend of promotion? So we look at it, some of these things, right? What are the steps involved in formulating a CRM strategy? First, as anything, you need to have a develop some sort of a vision for your CRM. You need to develop a vision for your CRM, right? Now, right now, say for an example, it's your vision, as you know, it should be a motivational, it should be an aspirational, as well as it should be a very broad and very simple. Whatever you develop for CRM vision, you need to fulfill certain things, right? Now, it should be motivational, what your CRM vision, it should be aspirational and broad and simple. So these are some common characteristics of any vision, right? So these are vision. Then gaining organization-wide commitment. Now, coordinated with other functional areas. Gaining organization-wide commitment means, right, coordinated with other functional areas, right? Now, you have a dedicated project team for that? Top to bottom commitment, budget allocation, right? So that is what you call, when you're formulating a CRM strategy, you need to gaining organization-wide commitment. So that be coordinated with other functional areas, Third one, creating a CRM project team, as I explained to you. Then analyze the business needs, right? Right. Then analyze the business need, mean critical skills in formulating the CRM strategy. What is the business process, right? What is the business process you are going to apply? Then making a plan. Who are the target customers and targeting market, right? So better ways to uh, activate the loyalty, all things you need to look at it, right? Okay, so we'll look at it some more points here to further explanation, right? Uh, from the strategist point of view, when I try to elaborate again, right? From here, okay. Right. What are the characteristics of a sound CRM strategy? I told you, right? Alignment with the organization's goal. So it's should be direct relationship with an objective, uh, your visions, right? So alignment with organizational goals, right? Organization objective and should supply its vision, support its vision. Then customer oriented focus requirement and expectation of customers. So positioning, right? That is basically we call customer oriented, right? Then top management support, as I told you, mutually coordinated with the top management. You need to coordinate this strategy with the top management. And then, as I told you, it is encompasses uh, the following aspects, like whether how can you provide the uh, uh, market size, requirements of customer, how you fulfill the requirements of the customers, and things like that. Then we look at it the objective of a CRM strategy, planning, responsibility of an objective. Any objectives you need to fulfill. There's something called there's a functions and objective. We call them as prime. Prime mean planning. P mean planning, right? Then the objective must be a PR, maybe a responsibility. Now, who is going to take the responsibility of that? I mean, it has to be integrated, right? Then M mean motivation. It should your whatever the objective, you need to be motivated, and E mean evaluation. So evaluation mean basically you need to see whether you achieve what we have planned, right? So to ensure all sources should share the same information, right? So that's the important thing, right? Then 360 customer view we discuss, and then we discuss about the competition, right? Now CRM strategy helps an organizations to analyze its existing position and decide where it aspire to or aspirations to reach in the future. So that is what every strategy we look at it from. Where are you now? So where are you want to be? Right? It's enabling to determine which market could be captured, what kind of activities should be prepared, uh, then how to strengthen the relationship with customers, right? So you need to look at it. From competition, we discuss the level of threats and challenges faced, and what new changes the customer required and why we need to change, like that. Then the technology role in organizational growth, support of technology, and trend on promotion, how you going to influence the customers, right? Best and efficient manner, right channel for promotions, all you need to look at it. Right. And then after that, what are the complexities of a CRM strategy? Now, developing a CRM strategy involves a high cost for an organization. So any strategy, remember, is a cost. Therefore, developing a CRM strategy and organization uh, should evaluate the level of complexity involved. How complex your strategy, right? And because what happened, uh, so an organization should employ a technology that can ensure the success of CRM strategy, because CRM is basically, I told you, is a technological driven. So therefore strategy, how appropriate the technology you are using to select for CRM strategy. Right now, example I have quoted earlier, say open banking. That's a strategy. How that strategy is good for your CRM, right? How your technology support to execute your CRM strategy, right? So you need to understand. So another strategy that may change the way organization work. Now, what is the policy now? Some of the strategy, when you're going to use of new technology or maybe a strategy, maybe is difficult to apply in the given organizational environment because they are not much fitting to that organization culture, or maybe have it's not aligned with the organizational objectives and goals. So you need to look at it, how complicit your CRM strategy, right? So therefore, strategic CRM focus upon the development of a customer business centric culture. This culture is dedicated to winning or keeping customers by creating and delivering value better than competitors. So your CRM, the strategic CRM, so therefore was provided to provide a better value to your customers better than your competitors. So whatever the resources you are using, definitely be contributing to add customer value, right? So a reward system to promote employee behaviors that enhance customer satisfaction and retention, right? Whatever the information you collected must be shared and applied across the business, right? Right. So therefore, whatever the CRM, therefore, it should be a strategy driven. Okay. So let me explain now up to now. So again, I've just briefly touched you. So when you're using your CRM strategy, what are the factors you need to look at it? First, we need to look at it, why we need a CRM strategy. So we need to have a CRM strategy to achieve our bank's objectives. One fact, right? So CRM strategy, of course, must fulfill organizational or maintain a strong relationship with the organization. So it can be used to acquire new customers or to keep with your existing customers, right? So what is CRM strategy therefore, right? So whatever the strategy you use it shows our characteristics. It should be fall in line with your organization's goals, it should be customer oriented to management support, right? It should be an effective one. It has for certain aspects to be fulfilled. So you need to explain the objective of a CRM strategy in 3 aspects: shared customers knowledge, 360-degree and process improvement, right? So here we basically explain, when you're developing your CRM strategy, what are the areas you need to look at it. You need to look at it in that sense at different areas, right? Different areas you need to look at it, right? Your CRM strategy. Then you look at the complexities of using a CRM strategy, right? Now, to be successful a CRM program, it should be, as we know, it should be a strategy driven, right? It should be a strategic driven. So first you develop a vision and mission and adaptable value proposition and customer aligned organization, right? It should be a strategic driven. Now, Kotner and Cripps, he said, customers should be managed as important assets. Not all customers are equally desirable. Customers vary in their needs, preferences, and mind behavior. By better understanding their customers, companies can cater or tailor their offering to maximum overall value. Now, in this sense, so you need to look at it acquiring a customer, profitable customer. So get the profitable customer. So once you get the customer, you need to keep the customer. You need to retain for a longer period, right? You need to win back profitable customers to do business with you all. Sometimes you may need to eliminate your unprofitable customer, right? Sometimes maintaining a customer is a costly for your organization. So therefore, you don't want to maintain certain unprofitable customers, right? So in order to increasing the value of the customer, to grow your customers, you need to be upsell. Upsell means additional products in a solution. Cross-sell, you're selling a product, another product to your customer. And also referrals and word of mouth benefits, right? And try to reduce the operational services cost. So this is how you increase the value of customer base by using this Gertner and Cripps model in CRM. Then we have a RFM methods. That is what you call recency, frequency, monetary value. What is recency? When was the last customer interaction? Frequency, how frequent was the customer in interactions with the business? Third part is the monetary value of the interaction. So you need to look at it RFM methods. When was the last customer interaction? How frequent was the customer in this interaction with the business? Monetary value of the interaction. Now, say for bank, if you're using RMF method, you look at it. When was the last customer interaction? Right? What is the ticket size? How frequent was the customer in his interactions with the business, right? Monetary value of the interactions, right? So let's look at it one question. There's a problem. Say a firm has sent an email to 30,000 of its existing customers. Say for an example, a firm has sent email to 30,000 of its customers, announcing a promotion of 1,000, right? Promotion of 1,000. 458 of them responded. So that means 1.52% of the customers only responded. If there's any relations between the responding customer and their historical purchasing behavior. Now, I just try to explain to you some example with using RFM method. So firm has sent an email to 30,000 of its existing customers, announcing a promotion of $100. Only 458% of them responded. Then, what is the response rate? 1.52% of customers. So they're asking, are there any relationship between responding customers and their historical purchase behavior? All these responded customers, right? Now let's look at it here. 30,000 customers are stored in descending order with respect to their most recent purchases, right? Customers are sorted in descending order with respect to their most recent purchases. Now this sorted data is divided into 5 equal groups, each of them containing 6,000 people. Now recency codes are assigned. Top group has 5, bottom group has 5. Now what is recency mean? Basically, when was the last customer interaction? Right? Now, if you look at the recency results, according to the analysis based on customer recency, the group having the highest recency group has also highest response rate. Right? So that say who have purchased recently are much more willing to buy new product than others purchasing in the past. So that is basically we'll talk people who have some sort of a last customer interactions tend to respond to new one, response to your message, right? That show if your customers are not recently deal with you all, they may not respond. So therefore, you can understand, get them involving every time this research, so like that. Next one, frequency coding. Next one, frequency. Sort the 30,000 customers with respect to frequency matrix. Frequently matrix average number of purchases made by customer in a time period of T. Now this also you put into 5 groups. Top 20% in the first frequency group and assign frequency codes such as top group to 5 and bottom group to 1. Now reasons frequency mean how frequent was the customer in his interaction with the businesses. Right? Out of 30, how many are shows their frequency level. Okay, so they are based on top 20, so they divided into 5 groups. If you draw the diagram, if you look at it, it is observed that highest response rate is from the customers having highest frequency. So that means the customers are in the frequently interaction with your bank are like to respond more, right? If you really look at it, the monetary value coding, the same process as reasons is frequency coding. Sorting is done with respect to monetary value matrix value from 1 to 5. So now you have three groups, right? If you look at the monetary value coding, it is observed that highest responses rate is from the customers are having highest monetary value. Unlike the recency case, there is not big difference between groups because groups are almost equal size. Now, putting the codes together at the end of the monetary coding for obtaining RFM matrix for customers, each customer belongs to one of 125 possible combinations of the RMS value, right? So that basically shows you the important thing. There are 231, 232, 233, 224, 235, right? So groups are basically impact basis. So then you can get an idea who is your best customers, right? Okay, I will explain to you in the, I think, detail on the next week how you use your RMF methods to analyze your basically your in your value of customer base, right? I will explain to you in detail how you use RMF methods to analyze your customer base, right? So I will stop today and I will come back to you on this area, the RF methods and things like that next week at 3:50, 3:30. I will explain it again, this RMF method in details. How can you use this RMF method for identifying your customer base? When you're developing your CRM strategy, those techniques are important. Now, sometimes we noted that all your customers are not maybe significantly important to you, right? So you need to understand who are your significantly important customers, how to identify them, and how to treat them. So therefore, this today is a very brief thing, but you know what we have learned in strategic customer relationship management, even though it look like simple, but it's have a lot of more techniques, right? I will explain in detail next week, more elaborations on that. What is strategy, CRM strategy? What are the areas you need to look at it when you are developing your CRM strategy? What are the unique features of a CRM strategy and how we use it? Okay, so more elaborations I will explain to you next week. Okay, so Sampath, you are okay? I'm going to wind it up. It's 5:30. So Rasika, you are okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. I will come back to you in more detail about strategic customer relationship management strategy with some examples and with some benefits of how to develop a CRM strategy in little more detail. Right. Okay. Overdue. Okay. Overdue.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right, Pushpa. So I will see you next week, and Kaushalya, and we will discuss from that point onward how to create, how to develop a unique USP for your product, how you use your experienced customers, and things like that, right? So many new areas we need to understand about customer relationship management. Okay, so see you next Saturday at 3:30. Thank you.